Welcome to the Dodgers Blue News channel. Before the news, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Now, let's get to the Dodgers news. Hey there, Dodgers fans. Settle in, because things are heating up behind the scenes in Major League Baseball. The Dodgers have their eyes on two key arms from the Twins bullpen, and the trade talk is getting more and more serious. According to respected reporter Bob Nightingale of USA Today, the Los Angeles front office has already reached out to Minnesota about two of the best bullpen arms currently available, Jhoan Duran and Griffin. The state of the Dodgers bullpen this season is far from ideal, and finding reliable late-inning arms has become a priority. With a 4.00 ERA and multiple blown saves, Tanner Scott hasn't been able to hold things down in the final innings. That's where Duran and Jax enter the picture as high-impact solutions. Duran, with his triple-digit fastball and devastating splinter, is posting a 1.62 ERA over 45 appearances in 2025, holding opponents to a minuscule .518 OPS. He's dominant, healthy, and under team control through 2027, a true elite weapon and one of the most coveted names on the market. On the other hand, Griffin may not have the same spotlight as Duran, but his efficiency is undeniable. After a shaky start to the year, he's found his rhythm. Since early June, his ERA sits at 1.88 with nearly a 38% strikeout rate. Since becoming a full-time reliever, he has emerged as one of the most dependable setup men in the American League, and he's also under team control through 2027. The Twins aren't full-on sellers just yet, but the noise around them is real. If they decide to listen to offers, this duo won't come cheap, and that's where the Dodgers' prospect depth comes into play. At the top of the list is Josue de Paula, the smooth-swinging left-handed outfielder who combines contact, emerging power, and a mature plate approach, even at just 20 years old. Another name to watch is Zyhir Hope, bringing a mix of explosiveness and athleticism with 33 extra base hits in 83 games this season. Alex Freeland is another strong name, a versatile infielder already logging time at both shortstop and third base in AAA. Then there's Jackson Ferris, the lefty acquired from the Cubs, who offers swing-and-miss potential and mid-rotation upside, despite still working on his control. Younger but just as intriguing is Eduardo Quintero, tearing it up in Single-A with over 30 extra base hits and 34 stolen bases in under 80 games. And don't forget Dalton Rushing, currently serving as a backup catcher, but with the upside to impact both sides of the game and remain a long-term option behind the plate. This is a quiet bidding war, but the tension is real. Minnesota has the assets. Los Angeles has the pieces. And with the Dodgers urgently needing stability in the late innings, a bold move may be on the horizon. For the Dodgers, the potential addition of Jhoan Duran and Griffin would be a strategic, well-calculated move that aligns perfectly with the organization's profile: aggressive, winning-minded, and fully committed to upgrading the major league roster when necessary. Over the years, the front office has shown that it's willing to part with promising farm talent when the opportunity arises to address a real need, and the bullpen, in 2025, clearly requires that kind of attention. Duran and Jax are not short-term rentals. They bring team control through 2027, reliable production, and proven performance under pressure. These are foundational pieces who could join the core group for multiple seasons, stabilizing the back end of games, a recurring issue this year. From the Twins' perspective, their front office knows exactly what they have. Duran is one of the most dominant relievers in the AL by both performance and projection. Jax is a reliable setup man whose advanced metrics continue to trend upward. That means any deal would require a significant return, and the Dodgers have the capital to meet that demand. Even after recent call-ups and trades, Los Angeles still boasts one of the deepest farm systems in baseball. They have the depth and quality to build a compelling offer without gutting their long-term future. Josue de Paula would likely headline any serious conversation. He represents the type of prospect who could anchor a trade, a 20-year-old with refined contact skills, emerging power, and an advanced approach at the plate. Including de Paula would send a clear message to Minnesota: the Dodgers are serious. From there, a package could be rounded out with names like Zyhir Hope, who brings athleticism, power, and defensive versatility as a potential future center fielder. Add in a left-handed pitcher like Jackson Ferris, or a major league-ready infielder like Alex Freeland, and you start to see a deal that balances short-term value and long-term projection. A trade of this nature would require alignment from both sides. The Dodgers would be giving up long-term pieces, but what they'd be getting in return is just as durable. Duran and Jax aren't just 2025 additions. They'd become core contributors in the bullpen over the next few years, complementing arms like Evan Phillips and adding depth for October. Their presence would also give Dave Roberts greater flexibility in managing innings. Starters wouldn't be overextended, matchups could be optimized, and the team could enter the stretch run in a more controlled and sustainable way, better positioned for the grind of August, September, and especially the postseason. On paper, this is a move that makes sense for both sides. Minnesota could flip two valuable arms into 5 or 6 years of control over multiple high-ceiling prospects, some of whom are near big league ready. Los Angeles, in turn, solves a glaring need without sacrificing its entire young core, potentially keeping players like Dalton Rushing, Diego Cartaya, or Nick Frasso out of the deal. It's a complex trade to execute, but it's absolutely feasible. There's no panic, no rush, but there is a clear need. And when a team with the Dodgers' resources and mentality identifies that need, they act. To contend in October, you have to think big in July. And Duran and Jax fit that mold perfectly. Big-time additions for a team with championship intentions. For Jhoan Duran and Griffin Jax, playing for the Dodgers would mean more than just a simple change of uniform. It would be a transition into one of the most structured, respected, and ambitious organizations in modern baseball. A franchise that not only plays to win, but fosters a culture where continuous development, high performance, and the pursuit of excellence are top priorities across all departments. Wearing the Dodgers jersey means entering an elite environment where every detail is monitored, adjusted, and optimized to put the player in the best possible position to succeed. Whether it's through the work of the analytics department, specialized coaches, or the integration of physiology and biomechanics, the team's infrastructure offers an ideal foundation for naturally talented pitchers like Duran and Jax to take their game to the next level. Duran, for example, is already known for his explosive fastball and virtually untouchable splinter. But in Los Angeles, he would have access to a technical staff capable of helping him further refine his command, adjust his attack zones, and even explore new pitch variations to make his arsenal even more unpredictable. With a deep rotation and a structured bullpen, he also wouldn't need to be overused, allowing for smarter workload management, something Minnesota was already implementing and the Dodgers would surely continue. Additionally, pitching in high-leverage games would become part of his routine. Jhoan Duran would go from occasional pressure situations to constant postseason matchups, national rivalries, and direct showdowns with top contenders. For many players, that's not just a challenge, it's extra motivation. The chance to close games at a packed Dodger Stadium, under the October spotlight, is something many pitchers dream of, but few get to experience. Duran would have that opportunity in hand, with the security of being part of a competitive, balanced core with a long-term plan. For Griffin Jax, this change would be equally transformative. What he built in Minnesota, especially since becoming a full-time reliever, has positioned him as one of the most consistent arms in the American League. In Los Angeles, he would not only maintain that role, but likely receive even more visibility and support to continue performing at a high level. The Dodgers know how to identify talent, but more importantly, they know how to optimize it. Recent examples include names like Blake Trinan, Chris Martin, Evan Phillips, and others who reached new heights after arriving in LA. The Dodgers system allows for this. Jax would have access to tools for breaking down his motion, spotting patterns in opposing hitters, fine-tuning his mechanics, and even optimizing his pitch sequencing. All of this within a context where he wouldn't have to carry the bullpen alone. Instead, he'd be part of a well-structured unit with clearly defined roles and consistent routines. Another key factor is the winning culture. Players like Duran and Jax, who come from a competitive team like the Twins, are already familiar with high standards. But in Los Angeles, that standard goes up a notch. The expectation isn't just to reach the playoffs. It's to advance, compete at the highest level, and fight for the title. That creates a sense of purpose many players deeply value. There's a clear focus, a culture of accountability, and a collective mindset aimed at winning, without compromising individual development. This structure also brings stability. The fact that both pitchers are under team control through 2027 means they wouldn't just be short-term rentals, but key components in a broader, long-term build. They could settle into the city, grow a connection with the fan base, and evolve within a consistent technical framework. That continuity is especially important for pitchers looking to maintain rhythm and performance over multiple seasons. Lastly, joining the Dodgers would open new doors. Duran and Jax are already established relievers, but in Los Angeles, they'd have the chance to fully tap into their potential within one of the most favorable environments in the league. It's not just about competing for titles, though that alone is a massive draw. It's about being in a place where work is recognized, tools are available, and the commitment to winning goes hand in hand with valuing talent. For any player, being on the Dodgers today means being where the highest level of baseball is played. And for pitchers like Duran and Jax, it represents the opportunity to write a new chapter, competitive, stable, and driven by a real ambition to achieve the ultimate goal in the sport. Following up on this potential market move, Dodgers fans can prepare for a season finish defined by strategic decisions and a clear approach, competing at the highest level without sacrificing efficiency and long-term planning. If the front office continues down the path it's been signaling, targeting names like Jhoan, Duran, and Griffin Jax, fans can expect targeted reinforcements that go straight to the point, solving weaknesses, especially in the bullpen, with players ready to contribute right away. The trend is for the front office to keep balancing aggression with responsibility. That means investing in impact players, but without jeopardizing the young core that underpins the franchise's future. And it's exactly this balance that makes the Dodgers such a reliable organization. While many teams are forced to choose between winning now or building for later, Los Angeles manages to do both at the same time. When a real opportunity to upgrade the roster presents itself, the front office doesn't hesitate, but it also doesn't act impulsively. If names like Duran and Jax do arrive, fans can expect a much more stable late-game rotation. The bullpen, which has drawn criticism in 2025 due to inconsistency and overuse, would gain depth and quality. This would have a direct impact on the team's overall performance, relieving pressure on the starters and giving manager Dave Roberts more freedom to manage close games, something that will be crucial in September and, even more so, in October. Moreover, reinforcements never come alone in Los Angeles. Any addition is accompanied by a process of adaptation and maximization. The Dodgers coaching staff has a strong track record of getting the best out of their players, whether by refining mechanics, reworking pitch sequences, or creating personalized strategies for different opponents. In other words, players who arrive generally improve, and those already on the roster benefit from this highly competitive and collaborative environment as well. Off the field, fans can continue to expect a team that moves with conviction. The organization's leadership, from Andrew Friedman to the coaching staff, understands the pressure and weight of representing one of MLB's most iconic franchises. The commitment to excellence is present in every area, from on-field performance to behind-the-scenes preparation. And that professionalism is reflected in every decision made throughout the year. Another important aspect is that with potential additions to the bullpen, other areas of the roster can be optimized. The team would be able to better manage players who have been used out of position or excessively, such as young relievers still in development, and perhaps even reposition veterans more efficiently. This means less improvisation and more structure, a team playing to its strengths, without having to stretch thin to cover gaps. If completed, the acquisition of Jhoan, Duran, and Griffin Jax would be more than a short-term reinforcement. It would be a statement. A move that reinforces the Dodgers' high-performance mentality and aligns the pieces around a central goal, to enter October with a complete, balanced, and ready-to-compete team. With a more reliable bullpen, the team becomes more dangerous, more flexible, and better prepared for postseason challenges. In the end, fans can expect a team that's prepared, focused, and hungry for a title. The goal is clear, and the moves currently being discussed are part of a larger plan, one designed to keep the Dodgers at the top of the league, now and for years to come. Now we want to hear from you. With the Dodgers targeting Jhoan, Duran, and Griffin Jax to strengthen the bullpen, do you think it's worth sacrificing some of the organization's top prospects? What would be the ideal trade package to get this deal done? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you next time, Dodgers Nation.